Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another one. Another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on, okay? And if you are new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms at Love HerbMan, all right? This is where we teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the wellness that we all deserve, including you guys, okay? So I just want you guys to understand that this is a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I'm going to work for those likes. All you need to do is make sure that you are sharing and you're doing your job because we heal faster together, okay? Now, you guys know that we've been talking about the owner's manual for forever, okay? So if you guys are ever interested in your own personal owner's manual, okay, not a book, but your own personal, customized, personalized owner's manual, just DM us and we'll get you that information that you need, okay? And today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people don't like to talk about and a lot of people just misunderstand, okay? And that's going to be your stool, okay? Understanding what that stool means, all right? And how you can take indicators from your stool, okay, way before you flush and try to understand what's going on in the body, okay? What's going on in the body. So once we get to 1,000 likes, you guys will get into the subject matter at hand. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Once we get into this, guys, I want you guys to understand this. Now, also, we have the HerbMan School that we are currently enrolling. If you want to register for the HerbMan School, okay, you can get the early bird special. You guys can go to the website, type in HerbMan School or just type in school and go ahead and get that early bird special. It will change at the end of March, okay? So end of March, the price will change. Go to the website, type in school. Let's get you in there, okay? It is a year-long school, okay? This ain't something that you're going to do you can't do what I do in a couple of weeks, okay? So we got to make sure that you guys are understanding all of this stuff that we've been talking about, and then you can start helping your own family, you can start helping your own community. If you are a herbalist already, if you are naturopathic already, if you are in this field already and you just want a system, a surefire system that can back and help you understand exactly what you're doing here in this particular space, then the school is going to be for you. If you're a caretaker and you just wanted to understand how to take care of your family better, how to understand your children better, how to understand your spouse better, and you want to be able to take this school, okay, it is 1 year. 1 year, okay? You got to be here 1 year, and you'll be able to do exactly what I'm doing in the location that you're in, all right? All right? So everybody get that? We appreciate that. Now, what we want to talk about is something very simple, all right? It's something very visual, but it's also something very honest, you guys, okay? And it is, honestly, it is one of the most underrated mirrors of the human health, okay? And that's your stool, right? That's your stool. And we have 7 different types or maybe 6 different types talking about the Bristol. If anybody understands that, the Bristol stool chart, you need to understand what this stuff is meaning in your toilet bowl, okay? Way before you do a flush, okay? You need to understand what this stuff is meaning. So the type 1, okay? Type 1. The type 1, all right? This is going to be these little pellets. I don't know if anybody understands these little pellets here, right? But you got these little pellets, okay? If you're pooping little pellets like this here, then you need to understand what this is. This is severe constipation, okay? This is also dehydration, all right? This is also looking at the transit time, right? It's taking you a long time for that food to come out of your system. It's going to be indicated by these little hard pellets, okay? Also, this is letting you know that this is a sympathetic dominance going on. This is a stress dominant nervous system. You didn't know that, right? Okay? You guys didn't know that that's what these little pellets mean, right? So you got to understand this type of stuff. Also, it could be talking about a rigid thinking, chronic contractions, okay? A scarcity mindset. All of this type of stuff you can know from your stool, okay? The stool tells you everything. Before you go get a diagnosis, you can do this yourself. You do it every day. So you might as well start to see exactly what your stool is saying to you, okay? The next one is going to be, so this is type 1, the hard pellets, okay? Type 1 is the hard pellets, right? And we'll answer you guys questions as we move through, okay? Type 1. So what is type 2? Type 2 is going to be that little sausage shaped but lumpy stool, okay? It's a little sausage shaped, but it's, you know, it's lumpy, okay? Little sausage shaped, but it's lumpy, okay? This is mild constipation. Mild constipation is also it's also about the fiber, right? So you might have some poor fiber diversity here that you might want to look at. This also could be an indicator of low magnesium, okay? Low magnesium. Also, this could be an indicator of not enough movement, all right, in your digestive system or just in your life in general, okay? So you got to look at this as you're moving, but it needs to be effortless, okay? It needs to be effortless, all right? And so the thing about this one is this is not a good one either. So type 1 and type 2, that ain't what you want, okay? Type 1 and type 2 is not what you want. Type 3 is going to be the same thing, but it's going to have like little cracks in it, okay? So it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to have like little cracks in it, okay? Here and there. It might have little things like that here and there, right? This is not a good one as well. Let me try to show you guys here. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's see if we can pull this up without them doing nothing to the live. All right. So that's what we're talking about right there, right? So you see the type 2, the lumpy, okay? Then you see the type 3, right? That's the sausage with the cracks in it, okay? I'm not a good drawer, but that's what that means. The sausage with the cracks in it, okay? Again, that ain't what you want as well, all right? What are we looking for? Which types are we looking for? Did anybody know? Let me pull this down real quick. Does anybody know the ones that we're looking for? Okay, so we know we don't want type 1, type 2, and type 3. Then what is it that we're looking for? Village Hippie said type 4, correct, okay? Type 4, that's the one you're really looking for, all right? And that's going to be like a smooth, soft, snake-like shape, okay? So it'll be kind of like this right here, right? Them the ones you're looking for, all right? This is your ideal digestion, okay? Let me put this back up here for you guys to see. The stuff tells you everything, but we're going to get into a little bit more of what it says, okay? So type 4, smooth, sausage, or snake-like, right? This is the ideal stool that we're looking for. This is also an indicator of a balanced microbiome. This is also an indicator that you're having the proper hydration. Remember, hydration is structured water, okay? Not distilled water, not purified water, but structured water, meaning that it has to have minerals in it, okay? So that's the proper hydration. Also, this is letting us know that you have a parasympathetic dominance. That's better than the sympathetic dominance, okay? So we want to make sure that we understand that type 4 because this is an indicator of a regulated nervous system, okay? Now, how many of you guys are dealing with the type 4? Put some ones in the chat if you got a type 4, okay? That's the ideal one, all right? And then the other one that's ideal is type 5, okay? Type 5. Now, this is the soft blobs, okay, with clear edges, okay? Now, well, I'm going to say type 3 and type 4, okay? Type 3 and type 4 is okay, but when you get down to 5, 6, and 7, these are kind of getting back into some other information. So type 5, the soft blobs with clear edges, right? So let's say you got it looking like this here. So these are blobs instead of, I can't really draw like that, but these are blobs, right? Instead of pellets, okay? These are not hard pellets, these are soft blobs. What this can be an indicator of is mild inflammation, you guys, okay? Also, this can be an indicator of a fast transit, right? So that means that you're not in that diarrheal type of mode, okay? Obviously, also, this could be something with food sensitivity as well. So you definitely don't want type 5 as well, okay? Type 6 is definitely a no-no. This is the mushy mush, okay? This is the mushy mush. Now, this is type 5 for my YouTubers here, all right? We're live on TikTok, live on YouTube. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, go tell somebody to go tell somebody. So these are also things again reflecting your nervous system. Okay, so now type 5. Type 6 is gonna be the mushy. Let me see if I can draw this mush. Y'all know what the mush look like though, right? Y'all know what that mush look like. It's really, really watery. Okay, really watery. All right, coming out in the stool like that is really, really watery. Okay, mushy. All right, it's got a little consistency to it, but it's still a little mushy. This is something that means it's got an irritation going on in the gut. Okay, this is also can be an indicator of what they call dysbiosis. Okay, you say you can't see me, or you can't see the chart. Okay, just look at the chart real quick. Okay, so that mushy, this is that dysbiosis. Okay, this is also a high stress person. Now, this is also when you're having that sympathetic, not just dominance, but sympathetic overdrive is happening here. All right. And it's also conducive to your energy just leaking everywhere, you guys. All right. We don't want type 6. We don't want type 5. And we definitely don't want type 7. And type 7 is just simply liquid. Okay. Type 7 is just simply liquid. Now, we all done been through that little phase before where we might have took a tea, did a detox, or whatever that case may be. And then it just comes out like what we call water. You know what I'm saying? That's how we used to say it back in the day. That stuff coming out like water, right? So it's just a big blob of liquid. Okay. That is acute inflammation going on. That also could indicate some infection. Okay. And then this also is going to tell you that you have a severe nervous system dysregulation. Okay. So you guys need to understand that so that you can start to do this thing yourself, right? Because when you're looking at digestion, remember that digestion is a information processing center. So you just don't digest just food, right? You digest emotions, stress, you digest experience, ideas are all getting digested. Remember that digestion starts in the brain first, okay? So if you got a hard stool, you're holding undigested emotion. And if you got loose stool, you're being overwhelmed. Your processing is being overwhelmed. Okay. So the colon is not just a waste removal organ. It is also going to be what? How you architect your decisions. How you architect your decisions. Look at what it does. It keeps what nourishes it, and then it releases what doesn't. That's how you should be emotionally, stressed, experience. You should keep what resonates, and you got to release what is not giving you those things. And that's why the owner's manual is so important, because it tells you about your stress, right? Your tendencies and how you're going to respond to these particular things. And the more you know, the better you grow. Okay. So that's what you need to understand. All right. Now, when we're talking about transit times and all that type of stuff, look, a healthy stool, again, is going to be type 3 and type 4. You don't want type 6 and 7. You don't want type 1 and 2. Okay. You want 3 and 4, right? Because this means that you're sleeping good. You got a proper circadian rhythm. It also means that you're getting adequate sunlight. It means that you're hydrating with that mineral water. You're drinking the right water. You're moving around. You got movement going on. And you also are eating the right fibers, which is this insoluble and soluble. Okay. But so if you're dealing with type 6 and 7, you have a rushed life. If you're dealing with type 1 and 2, you're suppressing. Okay. You're suppressing some things in your life. And the body will reveal to you the tempo all by looking in your stool. Okay. The stool tells you everything, you guys. All right. So when you're looking at this stool consistency, you got to know that it depends on the soluble fiber and the insoluble fiber. One of the biggest things we know is that it's not real good fiber in our foods. Okay. And you also got to be looking for the right water, because that's the structure. And you also got to understand this microbial fermentation, all right, which is going to be about the short chain fatty acids that you're intaking into your body, right? When you understand these types of things, you'll be able to understand this. And it's all by looking back down into that stool, okay? You got to know that, because the gut does have its own nervous system, okay? It's called the enteric nervous system, right? And if you got that parasympathetic, then you got smooth elimination. Okay. But if you got that sympathetic, it's going to be constipation and diarrhea all day long. Okay. Constipation and diarrhea all day long. Right? So you guys got to understand that. Let me move this over here. You guys got to understand that this stuff is telling you exactly what's going on in you. That's why we're teaching you in your owner's manual about the importance of humming and the breath work and the laughter and understanding what you need to be, what times you need to be eating and walking after your meals so that they can start to just go ahead and digest properly, quickly, and get in and get out. I said, Luna said, what about first are small hard pieces and the long soft was the reason for that? What about first are I don't understand the question, Luna. You got to ask it a better way so I can help you out right there. Okay? You got to do that. Because once you start getting this humming, this breath work, this laughter, once you start walking after your meals, that often is going to normalize your bowel patterns faster than taking supplements. Okay. And I know you guys like to take stuff for your colon. You like to take stuff as laxatives and stuff like that. You don't want to do that. Where can you find the book? There is no book. If you want your owner's manual, then we can get you your own owner's manual, Shayna B. Okay. Your owner's manual is $50. You can DM us and we'll get you one based on your birthday. Okay. That's all we need is your birthday. And you can have your own owner's manual. Okay. So when you're talking about the herbs in the owner's manual, there's the herbs that are in your owner's manual. If you got type 1 and 2, we got herbs in there for you. Nettles and yellow dock and burdock and Irish moss. All those things will help that dry, hard poop that you got going on with type 1 and type 2. If you're dealing with type 6 and 7, right? These are the four that we don't want. If you're dealing with type 6 and type 7, herbs that are in there for your nervous system, like skullcap and blue vervain and valerian, blessed thistle will help any kind of loose and inflamed bowels. So we're covering everything with your owner's manual. And that's why I'm teaching you guys so many different things. And it's for you to see that that owner's manual is the umbrella that you need to have yourself under in order to take care of yourself. Do we have to walk after meals or will any form of exercise do? Walking is the best thing. Doing all this rigorous stuff as far as exercise, I don't necessarily promote that, right? Because really it's just subtle movements. That's why that Tai Chi and all that stuff is so good, because you got to look at the natural way the body is designed. Your body is not designed to lift weights. Your body is designed to lift things in spurts, but not in what you're trying to do. That's really not how you're actually designed to do. So I like to do things as if you were in nature. And if you're in nature, you wouldn't have any weights. Okay, you would only run periodically, but you will walk all the time. You will walk to and for shelter. You'll walk to and for the fishing hole, the water hole. That's regulatory stuff. So walking is the best way to drop that meal down, not necessarily rigorous exercise. Okay. If you want your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you this information. Okay. All right. So you got to look at modern society, you guys. Modern society is largely going to be type 6. Okay. Modern society is largely going to be type 6 because we eat a lot of fast food. We got fast media. We got fast stress and we got fast dopamine. Okay. And some of us have this constipated thinking in some areas. Some of us have diarrhea, overwhelmed things that's going on in our life. So this chart is just a metaphor for the culture. Too much processing of everything we got going on in us will cause this constipated or constipatory or diarrheal type of thing going on, not only in our life, but now inside the body. The best water to drink, Dwayne, is going to be mineral water, natural spring water. Okay, that comes from the spring. When you go to the store, you need to be seeing minerals on the back of your water, whatever it is you get in plastic, glass, it doesn't matter. It needs to show minerals. Okay, minerals need to be in your water. All right. If you can't, you need to find you the closest spring to you, and you can do that by findthespring.org. Okay, findthespring.org. Findaspring.org. You put in your zip code and it'll show you the nearest springs close to you. Make a trip out of it. You know, mine is 45 minutes away. You make a trip out of it, go to the park, get you some good water. Okay? Get you some good water. But too much processing, you guys, not enough integration, loss of rhythm, all of this stuff is aiming us toward these 1s and 2s and 6s and 7s. Okay? Now, if you don't want nobody to know your business, But how many of us is dealing with the fours? How many of us are dealing with threes and fours? And how often is that? How often is that? Meet 8980, DM me and we'll get you what you need, okay? DM me and we'll get you what you need. So you got to understand that your stool is your daily health assessment, okay? It tells you if your rhythm is off, if your hydration is off, if your microbiome is off, and if your nervous system is aligned. And look, no lab test required. You don't need no lab test for this. Just turn around and look, okay? No bioscan, no bioresonance required here. Just observe exactly what your body is telling you. And this is how you know. How about adding things like cucumber and lemon juice to water? Does that help remineralize? Okay, so again, go back to day one. Were they putting cucumber and lemon in their water? No. See, y'all trying to do too much. Cucumber already has hydration. Okay, so you don't even have to do the water, just do the cucumber. Cucumber is about what, 90-some% hydration? That's structured water. Okay, you want to do the lemon, just do the lemon. You don't need the water. You don't need the cucumber. But when you're trying to mineralize that water, you got to understand your body doesn't know what you're doing that way. So your body will still have to pull minerals in order to make that water what it is. Remember that purified water and distilled water, they are very good cleansers, but we're not talking about a cleanser. We're talking about hydration. Hydration water is different from cleansing water. Do you need cleansing every now and then? Sure, but you mostly need hydration. So that's why you can go through all that bottled water that you're buying and still feel dehydrated. That's why you can drink all of the Crystal Springs and all of this big jug of stuff, but you still feel hydrated. Why? Because it's not structured water. And we talked to you guys yesterday about what that structure is. It needs to have some sodium, some potassium in there, right? It need to have some what you call that chloride and all that type of stuff. Those were your electrolytes, correct? Your magnesiums and all of that stuff. Those were considered your electrolytes. That bicarbonate, all those were considered your electrolytes. So when you look at your water, does it consist of those things? Your water needs to have the ingredients on the back of it. Okay. And I know that people say, well, the stool is this, that, and the third. It is the most accurate health assessment you can get, and it's also the quickest. And you can do this daily because you poop daily. I know it seems radical because it returns power back to the individual. But that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get you back in power of your own health so you can stop outsourcing. You can heal your body can heal itself, you guys. We're just teaching you how. So can't nobody come on here and say, I heal nobody, but I can teach you how to heal yourself. That's what we're doing with the Owner's Manual. That's what we're doing every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please go subscribe to whatever you got to follow us and make sure that you get up on this information. What about distilled water with mineral salts like Celtic salt, sea salt? That's fine, okay? Celtic salt has a lot of minerals in it, okay? Celtic salt has a lot of minerals in it, you guys, so that's fine. But if you're dealing with high blood pressure, you're dealing with stuff like that, you still got to kind of be careful with how much salt intake you do because Celtic salt is very salty. All right. But a little pinch goes a long way. Matter of fact, a little crystal of Celtic salt, you can just put on your tongue. You know, you can just put it on your tongue and keep it moving. Right. So now understanding that 3 and 4 is where we want to be, because that's going to get you that indication that you're structured properly. Okay. That means that you're flowing without chaos in your life. Right. That means that you can eliminate without the strain. Okay. That means that your completion of the stress without the attachment is there. See, health is not about perfection, you guys. It's just simply about rhythm, the rhythm of life. That's what we're teaching you. This is a rhythm. This is a melody. This is a universe, which is called the one song. A rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. It's a melody. You got to get in tune, get attunement. That's what we always say, get attunement. I know you always say get in tune, but the word is attunement. Attunement. That means you got to get in the rhythm of what nature is telling you to do, not what the jobs and this, that, and the third are telling you to do. And I'm telling you that rhythm is visible, not only here, but rhythm is also visible in what you release. Okay? In what you release. Anything else? Need more structured water. Yes, you got to have it. Go to findthesprings.org. Get your structured water. Okay? Get your structured water. Okay? Get your structured water. You need that. So this is just that one thing that most people avoid talking about. Okay? But your body never, ever, okay, your body never, ever dodges this conversation. So when we're talking about elimination, you guys, this is very important because what you release tells the truth about how you live. And your stool is not disgusting. It's a story. It's a diagnostic. It reveals to you the hydration of the body, the microbiome diversity, your nervous system tone, inflammation, rhythm, emotional processing, all of this stuff. The stool tells. Okay, you guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, and you'll understand that the body is very honest with you. The doctors may not be honest with you, your parents, the pastor, the therapist, but the stool, your body is very honest with you. See, and when you come into the experience here, you got to understand that we don't separate biology from metaphor. We study both of them for you to understand exactly what's going on. Okay? You got to understand how your colon absorbs water. You see? You got to understand the microbes and how they ferment. How they ferment what? The fiber. You got to understand how it produces those short chain fatty acids. You got to understand that your gut got its own nervous system called the enteric nervous system, and how that's going to regulate your motility, movement through food, moving through motility. You got to understand the vagus nerve is also monitoring these same organs. And the vagus nerve is going to help modulate the tone going on inside of the body. You got to get this stool consistency, but you got to get a life consistency. So the stool consistency is going to be what? Let me show you guys. You guys put in that consistency. We need some consistency, right? So let me show you these 4 or 5 things that you need to be consistent of. For you to have stool consistency, you need proper hydration. And I see that everybody's talking about water, so we know that this is a big problem for a lot of us. And dehydration and overhydration is a big problem for your kidneys, but also for your digestive system. Okay? Hydration, you need fiber, which we know that we're not getting in our food. So that's why you go back to the ancient grains, right? You go back to millet, you go back to the quinoa, you go back to the amaranth, you go back to the sorghum. Okay? That's going to help you get the proper fiber. All of those things I just named are brown, right? They're not white. Even with the African rice is called red rice instead of the Asian rice, which is the white rice. Y'all probably didn't even know nothing about African rice, but it's called red rice. I think it's called Glariza something. I get the name of it, but I know it's African red rice though. Another one is your microbial activity. We got to understand that. Okay, microbial activity. That's why you got all of this stuff telling you about probiotics and stuff like that, right? The fermented foods, the kimchi and the sauerkraut and all of that type of stuff. Now I know we only eat sauerkraut on a hot dog, but try to just eat it by itself, especially if you're dealing with we call it brown rice. Okay, brown rice, red rice, there you go, the brown rice, right? And then another thing here is your nervous system state, okay? Your nervous system state, okay? Your nervous system state. These things right here are going to create what we call stool consistency, okay? And if you're sympathetic dominant, then you're going to have slow movement, which is called constipation. Or it can trigger urgency, which is diarrhea. Constipation and diarrhea are two of the same, from the same coin. Okay. If you have parasympathetic dominance, right? then this is going to be coordinated contractions that's moving properly through the body, and it's going to create that smooth elimination. Okay. Kombucha, I'm not a big fan of kombucha. Okay. I'm not a big fan of kombucha. You guys can make your own probiotic. All you got to do is just go and get you the amaranth seeds. Okay. You can go get you the wheatgrass seeds. Okay. And you act like you finna sprout them. You put them in a jar. You put some water on them. You let them sit there for a couple of hours, right? I would say 10 to 15 hours. You let them soak. You rinse them. All right. Then you put them in you flip them over, put them on their side, let them sit until they sprout. When they sprout, you pour more water over them. Then you just let them sit for a day or two. That water, you strain that water. That's the water you drink. That's a probiotic. Probiotics have live microbes in it. And you can't get live culture in a probiotic pill. That's the fallibility. And on top of that, if you do it the right way, it'll correct your gut very fast. You should not be on probiotics every day. Well, I take a probiotic every day. That's not a great probiotic. Okay. That's not a great probiotic. And I'll tell you another thing too. Humming. Y'all know I love humming. Humming increases the vagal tone, and improved vagal tone improves the biorhythm. Remember that we just need to be parasympathetic. We need to woosah. We're going under stress. You see it in the stool. Who said that right there? What happens when you don't feel like you need to go till you go, and it's just easy release? Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you don't feel like you need to go until you go, and it's easy release, we don't care about the release more than we care about what does it look like. I know y'all don't like to look back, but look back at it. Okay. So the release is fine. If you got an easy release, that's fine. But what does it look like? Or is it watery? Are you a type 3 or you're a type 4? Okay. Another one is, does it float? Does it float or does it sink? Okay. If it floats, you don't want float. It should sink, because sinking is going to give you the right fiber. You ate the right fiber, and it's heavier than the water. So it's more dense fiber. If it's floating, oh Lord have mercy, you ain't eating enough stuff. You ain't got enough stuff in you. Okay? It should sink. All right? It should sink. And you'll see that type 1 and type 2, right here, they float. Look at this. All right? I can't keep drawing that, but you see that type 1 floats. Y'all seen that. Type 5, 6, and 7, y'all know that float. You see what I'm saying? They floating. Float on, float on. That means you ain't got enough in you. Okay? You ain't got enough in you. It should be sinking, you guys. All right? That's what you want. Okay? And this is all also allocated to the 4 elements, right? So we know that the earth element is going to be constipation, right? We know that the fire element is going to be a little inflammation. We know that the water element is diarrhea. We know that the air element is going to be loose and scattered poop. Okay. So you just got to look at what you got going on, and you can tie them in to the 4 elements. Okay. And if you could tie it into the 4 elements, you could tie it into the chakras and everything like that. Right. But again, the modern culture that we're living in today, unfortunately, has us constipated with information. So you're so overloaded with information, and then you're starting to figure out that your body is responding in the same capacity. Right. Then we're so overloaded with media that your body is going to do the same thing. Okay. We're so inflamed with productivity that your body will show you those things. You're so dehydrated from real water, your body will show you those things. You're so deprived of fiber, your body will show you those things. Okay. And we don't have a colon problem, we have a rhythm problem. And that's why this thing right here called the owner's manual is the best thing to get you back on the rhythm of nature. And God speaks through nature. Okay. And when we're up on all this artificial light and processed foods and wrong meal times that we're eating in, and we're not really chewing our food properly, you ever seen somebody eat, man, two or three chews and they swallow? That puts a lot of strain on the digestive system. 2 or 3 chews and you swallow, that puts a lot of strain on your digestive system. These things are made to chew. You get the saliva mixed in with it, and then you start to chum it up yourself. That way it's an ease of breaking it down. So now that's why gallbladders are being taken out. Uh-huh. Because you're overwhelming the gallbladder. That's why the colon C is up on the rise, because you're overwhelming. Okay? We don't do blood types on here, blood type fit. So please don't come on here with the blood type. I do not believe, nor do I bag blood type diets. There's too vague. Okay, they're too vague. All right. So we don't do blood type diets. It's not personalized or customized. Okay, because ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna tell me that the person in Alaska that's a type A and the person that's in Africa that's a type A can eat the same foods and be okay. Because if that's a meat eater up there, the cold will kind of produce a little bit more sulfuric acid, while the brother down here in the heat produce a little bit more what? Ammonia, right? So one of them is sulfur, one of them is ammonia. You don't break down the meat the same way, but you're telling people to eat meat because of a blood type. You ain't taking into consideration none of the climatic experience that people are in. You're not taking into effect the cold atmosphere versus the hot atmosphere. You're not taking in anything to do with nature. All you're talking about is the blood type. That's wrong information. It's misinformation. You see what I'm saying? That's misinformation. We're trying to get people back into understanding how nature is a very big part. The environment influences the cell life. The environment influences birds, the trees, the plants, the fruits, the vegetables, and the human beings in that climate. So now if you take blood type back and do your research and then start to add the climatic aspect to it, then we on to something. But until then, we're not going to regurgitate up another man's situation because it ain't real, and it's not real. It's not nature. Okay? We have to take into effect the environment first. Your environment, your climate is the one thing that is producing everything under it. You see? Just got to take that in. I'm sorry to bust your bubble right there, but we got to take that in. I've been past that I ran past that roadblock 10 years ago. Debunking that's not necessarily true. It's too vague. Okay, so understanding the gut, you got to understand the gut. So when we're humming, all right, and we're doing this abdominal breathing in the nose and out of the mouth, right, and when we're kind of moving and we're swaying, that gentle sway, okay, that's going to do what? Get you regulated. You ever seen somebody say, "Oh, they digestive girl, I go regular girl, I'm regulated." That's what we're trying to get you to understand. Serotonin is 90% of serotonin is produced where? In your gut. 80% of your immune system is where? In the gut. So these neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine and GABA, they are really, really good medicine for you guys. And when you regulate the nervous system, then you regulate elimination. They go hand in hand. See? So that's why when you get your owner's manual and you understand this as a health assessment, you guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. If you're interested in your owner's manual, DM me and we'll get you the information. Matter of fact, blood type fit, I would just ask for you to get your owner's manual and let's see what you're talking about. Okay. Put the owner's manual right beside the blood type diet. Okay, for that little funky measly $50. And then you can come on, I'll bring you back on the show with your own personal owner's manual and what you know about the blood type, and let's go. Let's see what your reading says versus what you say about your blood type. Okay, let's just do that. Let's just do that. That way people can see the differences, people can understand, and on top of that, you can see the differences within you. Okay, you can see the differences within you. So if you are dealing with type 1 and type 2, you guys, increase hydration, okay? If you're dealing with type 1 and type 2, please increase your hydration, find the right water, okay? And when you get your owner's manual, you're going to have the right herbs in there that's going to help you, like Irish moss and nettles, and then also understanding how to eat. Chew your food slowly. Enjoy the food. You'll find that when you chew slow, You won't even eat all your food. You'll get full faster. You didn't know that? The slower you chew, the faster you'll get hungry, the faster you'll get full. Okay. If you're dealing with type 6 and 7, when you get your owner's manual, you should see already herbs in there like skullcap and valerian and blue vervain. Why? Because they're going to be there because that's your design from your birthday. Okay. And if you're dealing with 6 and 7, we got to remove the irritants that's causing this. We got to be able to regulate you. Okay. So you must understand those things. All right. Any questions? We're all learning the info. Yeah. That's what we're here for. I'm teaching you. That's what we're here for, this school. Okay. We judge elimination because we're uncomfortable with the release. That's what it really is. But nature eliminates constantly. So we don't have to keep holding on to stuff. And that's why I teach you about in the owner's manual about releasing these emotions. They don't tell you that diabetes got you. They say you have diabetes. They don't tell you that cancer got you. They come in that room and say you have. So you got to understand how to unball your fist and release these things spiritually, emotionally, mentally, as well as physically. You got to understand that trees are going to drop leaves. Skin from snakes shed, right? Your dog shed. Ocean tides go back and forth, okay? And the colon has to empty itself. Health is a rhythm. Somebody put that in the chat, please. Health is a rhythm. And rhythm releases. We want to get you back into the rhythm. We want to get you back into the rhythm. Somebody said, basically, just let that shit. Yes, sir, let it go. It's because you holding on to it. You hold on to that diagnosis. Soon as that doctor tell you got high blood pressure, you leave out of there feeling like I got high blood pressure. You held on to that frequency. Soon as that doctor said that you got high blood sugar, you walked out of there and said, man, buddy, I said I got high blood sugar. And even if you don't tell nobody, you thinking it, man, I got high blood sugar. You held on to that rhythm. You held on to that frequency. You're singing that song. You got high blood pressure. I got high blood pressure. That's what you said. The doctor said, you got diabetes. I got diabetes. You're singing the song. That doctor said, look like you got need dialysis. I need dialysis. You're singing the song. And I'm telling you, no, your body can heal itself. When somebody tells you got high blood pressure, somebody says you got diabetes, somebody says you got the big C, somebody says you got an autoimmune issue, what you instantly need to do is go home and regulate. Regulate your life. You need to go home and regulate. Regulate your life. Get everything around you regulated. If your job is chaotic and you just diagnosed me with something and my job is chaotic, I'm finna get away from the job. If you just diagnosed me with something and my household is chaotic, then I'm finna fix what's going on in my house and in my relationships. If you tell me I got something and I'm finna go back home and regulate, then I just need to get things regulated in my life. And the owner's manual is going to show you in particularly how to do this. Yeah, speaking of spells, and then you go back home singing the song. You see, you go back home singing those songs, right? And what we're trying to do right here is we're trying to give you a better song to sing. You see, somebody said, how do I relax? Okay. If you want to relax, hum. I don't know what's so difficult about this humming thing. I didn't say be like no monk and do no ohms, even though ohms is a form of a hum. I'm telling you to simply do this, you guys. Come on, right quick, you guys. Come on, right quick. Let me show you how to regulate. Right quick. Put ones in the chat if you guys are ready. Let me show you how to regulate. Put some ones in the chat real quick when y'all are ready to regulate. It's going to take you about, man, it might not even take you 5-10 seconds, pimp. And you're going to see the difference, okay? Really quick, I'm going to show y'all really quick how to regulate, how to relax very quickly, right? You guys are ready? Put some ones in the chat if you're ready. I see twos. I don't know why. Put ones in the chat if you guys are ready, because I need all 100 of you guys that are watching to keep tapping, keep talking. But now I want you to stop tapping. I want you to stop tapping. Don't tap that screen. I don't want you to do nothing. If you're watching me, even if you're on the FYP page and you just don't want to come on to the live, I want you to put that phone down, man. Put it down and just listen, okay? But really, I don't even want you to listen, but I need for you to look first so that you can see what it is that you need to do, okay? But stuffing your ears is a very big part of regulating yourself, okay? We constantly hearing. Remember that digestion starts in the brain. So it's therapeutic when you close your eyes, but I also want y'all to stop and I want you to start closing your ears. You don't need guided meditation. You don't need sound bowl healing. You don't need nobody talking to you, but I got to get you to see this first. Okay. I got to get you to hear this first. But the reality of this is closing your ears, closing your eyes, and you'll start to hear the rhythm of your own body. You'll start to hear. When was the last time you heard your own breath? I ain't say when the last time you smelled your own breath. I said, when was the last time you heard your own breathing? When the last time you heard your own heartbeat? That's the sound that we're trying to get you back in love with, baby. You're outsourcing, you're outwardly. We want to get you inward. Okay? So really quick, boom. Y'all ready? Drop your shoulders. You'll notice that your shoulder was up when you drop them. Drop your jaws. Right? So that means just open up your teeth. Don't let your teeth clench. Okay? Drop your jaw. If your tongue is at the roof of your mouth, if you notice that your tongue is at the roof of your mouth, bring it down. All of these are signs of tension. Okay? Without us even noticing. People are gritting their teeth. People have their teeth clenched together. That's tension. The shoulders up high, not really realizing that's tension. Right? So we drop the shoulders, drop the jaws, drop the tongue. We breathe in the nose and we hum out the exhale. If you swallow, if you start feeling tingly, you just regulate it. Y'all keep doing it and you tell me what you're feeling. If you feel any kind of tingling sensation, if you swallow behind that hum, you just switched and regulated yourself. If you feel yourself getting warm, you just switched and regulated yourself. You can do this at the traffic light. You can do this sitting at your desk. You can do this on the school bus. You can do this on the MARTA bus. You can do this in public transportation. You can do this in the Uber. You can do this in your truck at the traffic light, right? So you can do this anywhere, but you can't smoke anywhere. You can't drink anywhere. Not faster than humming, Buggy. Prayer is you talking. So prayer is a sympathetic thing. It's not a parasympathetic thing. Prayer is you offering up something. We want you to go inward. You still trying to pray outward. Okay? So listen to what I'm teaching you. Self-regulation. Then you can start swaying back and forth. If you sway back and forth, this is called whole brain coherence, because the left brain controls the right side of the body and the right brain controls the left side of the body. And so therefore, both of your sides of your brain is in control when you are moving from side to side. This ain't walking, running, this ain't exercising, but you're still in whole brain coherence. Somebody say whole brain coherence. Now, if you add the closing of the eyes and the closing of your ears, and you do that, what sound do you hear? What sound do you hear? That's the music. That's the music, my brothers and sisters. Not Usher, not TD Jakes, not a sound bowl, not William Huff breathing techniques, not me or Yaki. When you close them ears and them eyes and you do exactly what I just did, that's the sound. That's the sound that we're trying to get you to fall back in love with. That's the thing that's going to regulate you. That's the thing that's going to heal you. Yeah, when you do that humming, your ear itching, right? Regulation, regulators. Because that vibration is going through your body. That vibration, your body knows your tone. So it's not in sympathetic anymore. For you to hear me, you got to digest this information. That's sympathetic. But for you to hear you, got to be more careful, man. For you to hear you, you're not in sympathetic. You're not in sympathetic anymore. Somebody said my lips trim. Yes. Come on, somebody. You vibing now, baby. That's what we call vibing. Vibing is your vibration. You studied talking about vibing with somebody else. I'm trying to teach you how to vibe within yourself. Okay? Now you add that regulation onto the hydration, the fiber, the microbial stuff that you need, and then you just fix your nervous state. Man, you're going to eat better. You're going to go better. You're going to do better than you've ever done before. Remember that feeling good doesn't mean you're getting better. We want to get better, not just feel good. And today, a lot of you guys are going to go hooping and hollering today. And it's going to feel so good. But did you get better? A lot of you guys are going to go smoking. You're going to go drink. You're going to feel so good. But did it make you better? And for that little funky measly $50, the owner's manual is putting you back into rhythm. The owner's manual is going to show you how to regulate yourself. You cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. The owner's manual is going to teach you about your particular human frame and human design so that you can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the freedom that we all deserve. And this ain't just for my Black folk. This is for my white brothers and sisters. This is for my Asian brothers and sisters. This is for my Latin community brothers and sisters. This is for my European brothers and sisters, my South American brothers and sisters, my African brothers and sisters. This is for the world. This machine will create the movement that we've all been looking for. Yes. I'm definitely getting my own owner's manual. Thank you, Shayna B. Any other questions you guys got about your poop? Okay. Any other question you guys got about your stool? What does the stool tell you? If you just came into the live, okay, and you got questions about which one of these you're in, okay? Are you type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5, type 6, or type 7? Okay? Because we want to be able to help you out. And this is your daily health assessment here, your stool. Your daily one. And you keep running up there to the doctor when you can be right. You just got to know it. Yesterday, we taught you guys about how to read your CMP, your comprehensive metabolic panel. You guys got to know your stuff. Somebody said, I'm type 3 currently. Thank you for being bold enough to allow us to know. Okay. So if you're type 3 and 4, you're in good company. Okay. Type 3s and type 4s, you're in good company. Okay. But if you're not, we can tell you which one of these going on. Insoluble fiber, soluble fiber ain't nothing but fruits and vegetables, some seeds, okay? chia seeds and flax seeds and stuff like that will help you guys out. Anybody else? I am first come as a type 1 and then 3. Why? Because Luna, you're going in and out of nervous system dysregulation. So when you're in the type 1s, that's when your life is hectic. When you're in the type 3, that's when you chill mode and you good mode. You hear that, Luna? That's why you're going in and out. Because sometimes you're too overly sympathetic. And then at times you can regulate. You may have a good day, it may be a relaxed day, and then the 3 comes on. But when you're working and huffing and buffing and eating crazy and going off track on your eating, type 1 comes in. We all go back and forth through these things, not understanding that this is caused by life, not just by food. It's caused by life, not just by food. Anybody else? I go back and forth. Yes, because that's it. Your life is going back and forth. Okay. At the same time, first come hard, the rest is 3 smooth same time. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So now you just got to look at when type 1 comes, what did I do today? What was I doing today? Now, when when type 1 gonna come, you look back, you say, yeah, that's type 1. What I did, oh yeah, it was a good crazy day today. I had to do this, I had to do that. And then when you see your type 3, you're like, okay, that's my type 3. Oh yeah, I was chilling today. I didn't have such a hectic day. And that's how you're going to be able to understand. Okay. Sometimes you don't eat enough. Yeah. Well, if you don't eat enough fiber, then you're going to have watery. Okay. It's going to be diarrheal type of stuff. Okay. But you got to look at your life. If you're downloading all the time and you got this diarrheal type of lifestyle, then it can cause that in the body. Never looked at it that way. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be able to show you how to heal yourself, Jazzy. Thank you for coming to the live, and thank you for saying that. Never looked at it that way, but I understand it now. Thank you. That's the real prize that I get on these lives, okay? That for somebody who wasn't looking at it in this perspective can get this perspective and start to now integrate it into their own personal life. It means the world to me, okay? It means the world to me. This is why we do this stuff, okay? If you guys are interested in the HerbMan School, we have the early bird special. You got to go a year long with me, and I'm going to teach you how to do this, what I do, okay? You can go to the website and type in school. Shana B said, I needed this information. Thank you. Late to the live. Vetted, which one of these are you? Okay, you say you're late to the live, that's fine. Which one of these are you? Okay, Vetted, which one are these? Just your Stool Tells, Vetted. It tells you a lot about your life. My YouTube family, what I got going on here, YouTubers. Which one are you? 3 and 4 are the best ones, Buggy. Okay, Buggy the Clown. 3 and 4, type 3 and 4, that's the best one for you. Okay. They are the best ones for you. So type 3 and 4 is going to be the solid, I mean, the sausage or the snake-like stools, okay? Vetted said 3 and 4. Okay, then, Vetted, then you are very, very healthy, okay? You're doing the right things as far as your life is concerned and as far as your diet is concerned, Vetted, okay? You're doing the right thing. You tend to stay regulated, not just about regulation of the frequency of going to the bathroom, but I mean regulated with your nervous system. You stay peaceful, you're doing things to calm yourself down, and then therefore you can create the 3s and 4s. Okay? Said, thank you for being rude to me. It has continued to learn from you. That's what it is. Yeah, you know how I got to do it. I got to whoop you in the spirit. You know what I'm talking about? I can't whoop you for real, but we can whoop you in the spirit to get you to understand what you're listening to. I know we do a lot of scrolling, trying to find something, but sometimes you can catch a person's attention. Okay? Sometimes you can catch that person's attention. My anniversary is March 16th. Been a student for a year and learned so much. Wow. Thank you, user. Thank you for running. Thank you for running that race with me. Okay. We running it together. You know, this thing is a pyramid. I lead like this. I don't lead like this from the top. I lead like this. The best shepherd The best shepherd, I'm talking about a shepherd that's actually out there on the farm with a sheep. How you gonna lead from the front? They can come and steal all your sheep. So we have this crazy idea of how to be a leader. But if I want to keep my eye on all my sheep, you got to lead from the back, not the front. That's the ideal of a good shepherd. Okay, that's the ideal of a good shepherd. And if you can look at this, my vision is widened, right? Just like a flashlight. Just like a flashlight. My vision is widened where I can see everything. This is the position of the leader. This is the position of a leader. If you got a flashlight, are you holding it down? Are you holding it up? You letting it lead you. The position of a leader is here, not the other way around. Okay? Thank you. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Any other questions? Okay. You need to know thyself, you guys. That's the real big thing of what I'm on here for. I've learned that we just are ignorant of ourselves. And we don't know our triggers. We don't know our tendencies. And when you don't know your triggers and your tendencies and you don't have a roadmap, unfortunately, what happens is you run right into the ditches of life. You run right into the ditches of life and you blow out a tie, right? A blowout tie could be a relationship. You blow a gasket. A blown gasket could be a health condition. And it's simply things in the road of your life that if you had a roadmap and if you had something to allow you to shed light onto the dark spaces of your life, you can circumvent and maneuver these things called ditches, blowouts, and blown gaskets in life. And now you can spare that young lady that you wasn't no good for. You could spare her that experience. You could spare that brother that issue that you had with him when you know thyself. You could spare yourself the inconvenience, the frustration when you know thyself. And that's what we're trying to get all the world to understand. Your life was written in the book of life. And it all stems from your birthday. And if you allow yourself the opportunity that we're offering, you'll get that owner's manual and you'll start to shed light on your life's path. How many of you guys understand that? You'll start to shed light on your life's path. Lep said, I'm going to turn off my body check engine light. There you go, baby. There you go. What is healthy color? So a healthy color should always be, I would say like a brownish color, right? If it starts to get reddish, if it starts to get dark red, if it starts to get green, if it starts to get dark green, all that type of stuff, yeah, those are going to be indications of something, okay? But if it stays right there in that little light brown, you know, like a skin color, if it stays in that little light brown, that's fine because that's the healthy bilirubin, okay? Healthy bio is what they call it. Came in late. Can you briefly explain the chart? Is chart on the website? No, but you guys can go to the Bristol. You can just download the Bristol chart, or you can Google Bristol chart. Who that is, Lisa. You can just download it. Unfortunately, I can't put it on YouTube, but I got it on TikTok here. So if you guys really want to see the chart, you can come on the TikTok and you can see we got the chart up. Once in a while, it gets very black. What's that mean? Oh, you don't want black. Okay. You don't want black. All right. So a lot of times when you're dealing with some black stuff, it could be a combination of some blood being involved with that. Also, it could have been just something that you might have ate that took on that dark texture. I don't know, maybe some prune juice or something like that. Okay. I always tell people that when you do a detox and fasting, sometimes you will see that black specks come out. You know, it'll kind of splatter everywhere on your toilet bowl. Well, to me, that's some of that junk, that trash that's been sitting there too long. So when they get black like that, it's probably some stuff that's been sitting there too long, or it can be mixed with blood to cause that color. So you want to be careful about that, okay? Say, I want to see black when I do this colon cleanse. Yes, if you get the 21-day detox on the website, the first 3 days is a liquid fast, right? So you're gonna see black because you're only drinking liquid and you're supplementing stuff for the detox. Okay. And when you're only drinking liquid, obviously you're gonna get to a point where there's no real hard stool coming out. I like to call that plaque that's stuck into the intestinal walls. Okay. But now, if you're talking about black poop altogether, now that's something different. Orange, that's still probably a light brown. I don't know why it would be orange. That's still probably a light brown. That may be something that you ate. The best color that we're supposed to have, period, is gold. Okay, gold. The best color we're supposed to have, period, is gold. Right. So a lot of times, if you do the correct cleanse, that we had a gut cleanse, right? When you do that correct cleanse, it's going to turn back to gold. Gold means clean. Okay. If it goes back to gold, golds mean clean, just like the baby poop, right? The baby poop, that's there you go, like baby, there you go, KK. Yes. Gold means clean. Okay. Now we got a gut cleanse that we do. It's in the way that you cook it. Okay, so our gut cleanse, you can't do this no 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water. But we have a gut cleanse and you have to cook it overnight. You got to let it sit over. The way you cook it for a few hours, you let it sit overnight. Then you come back and you strain and you drink. You drink that for 2 or 3 times a day, right? And you're going to go from whatever color you is to gold. And I tell people, when you see the gold, you have struck gold. That means your colon is clean. If you guys are interested in that gut cleanse is $60, okay? But it's not, you can't do no 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water. Trust me, you guys, what we have, we know works because we know how to cook this stuff. Everything ain't 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water. It's first of all, that's too light in the ass for some of you guys' issues. Second of all, it's too long to make something turn around. But if you know how to get the chemical constituencies out of this stuff, then you know how to cook it right. It's so potent and strong. All you need is a week time. A week for the heart cleanse, a week for the gut cleanse. You'll get yourself back in shape. The heart cleanse is 50. The gut cleanse is 60. The male energy blend that we have, it's a way you cook it. Some of you guys, all y'all need is just to do it 30 minutes before you go and just 1 teaspoon and back up. You ready because you know you had some little stuff going on. But some stuff y'all doing, it got some major deficiencies. So you got to cook it a certain way. And you make it extra strong, extra potent. Then you drink it just a little something before you ready to do your thing, before you ready to party. Then you're able to party. Everybody can't do the same thing. That's why the owner's manual is particular, customized, and personalized to you. So that means that when you get your owner's manual, you can't help your spouse because it ain't for him. When you get your owner's manual, it probably won't work on your kids because it's not for them. That's just like giving somebody your medication. That was prescribed particularly for you. The owner's manual is the nature-based health assessment that is specifically for you. And we don't do lifetime prescriptions. So you ain't got to worry about having to do stuff for a lifetime. We do lifestyle prescriptions. You change your life, you change your health. Do you still recommend Concord grape juice? Yes, I still recommend Concord grape juice unless you are diabetic. If you're a diabetic, you need whole fruit. You need the skin on that. But if you're not a diabetic, you can do Concord grape juice or you can do what they call the apple juice with the mother in there, right? When I get the owner's manual, will it give me suggestions of a detox? No, you don't. It ain't going to suggest a detox. The owner's manual, we're talking about you. It's going to suggest you do things, right? See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm teaching you how to heal yourself, not any external things. You see what I'm saying? So it's not gonna suggest a detox, but it will suggest your herbs. It will suggest your foods. It will suggest your nature-based interventions, like how often you need to go outside, do something, morning, noon, night, midday. It will suggest you do these type of things. It will suggest what food colors to go in the grocery store and start looking for your own health. It will suggest the herbs that you can take for your own health. It will suggest the spiritual tendencies and physical tendencies that you need to emotional release and take care of. Those are the suggestions that it'll do. But it'll also pick up on things that I wouldn't know, because all you would give me is your birthday. And everybody who called me be like, it said this, that, and the third, and I've been through all these things. But you didn't tell me. All I get from you is a birthday. So how is it from your birthday that you done already bumped into all of these particular roadblocks in your life? Because you didn't have the road map. You didn't have the GPS. You didn't know traffic was ahead. You didn't know that that road was closed. You didn't know that that opportunity wasn't yours. You didn't know what the food was going to do to you because you sitting up here listening to blood type diets. and you're just following a generic roadmap when yours is particular to you. That's what the owner's manual would do for each and every one of us. I was on TikTok but didn't see you there. The feed was tripping, so I got off. Yo, I'm back on TikTok. I'm right here. I'm right here, Lisa. Okay. However, lately we are not tropical sign. We are Vedic to go based on Vedic. No, you don't have to do none of that. Again, that's throwing you off. Okay. Vedic and all that stuff is throwing you guys off. Sidereal, Vedic, tropical. Don't get caught up in that. It'll throw you off. Okay. How do I build a meal plan based on my owner's manual? It's going to show you there. It should show you there in there. Right. If you got your owner's manual right perspective, it's going to show you what you should be eating and what days you should be eating it. I need that roadmap. Yes. Not only do you need the roadmap, but you also need the light shining on the life path. The owner's manual is a roadmap, yes, but it's also the flashlight. Because a lot of you guys get the owner's manual and you still don't understand. So you need to be shedded light onto the path. See, some of you guys are walking in life like this here, right? Let me draw this guy right here. All right. You guys are walking on your little life path. Put a little hat on his head. He just walking. That's most of us. We're just walking on this life path, but we're walking blinded. There's a veil there, okay? This is the veil. So we're walking on this path of life with a veil in front of us. Can't you see how easy it is for this brother to run into something? Can't you see how easy it is for this sister to fall down this hill of life? Can't you see how easy it would be? Now, you're living here with a veil on. I call it the dark ages. Yes, we got a lot of information, but because you have to cipher through it. And so you don't have your decoders on. You don't have your binoculars on, AKA the flashlight, to decode things in the dark. So you got information just all in your face. And you don't know what's real from the fake because of the veil. And the veil is the ignorance of thyself. So this owner's manual is going to be a roadmap, but it's also going to be shedding light on the path so that you'll understand the meaning of life, your life lessons, you'll understand where you are in life. When you get a GPS, it tells you two things. It gives you two coordinates, right? It's going to tell you where you currently are, your current location. And it's going to tell you your destination. That's what the owner's manual is going to do for you. It's going to tell you your current location and your destination. Okay. I started right here in Gemini, but I'm currently I done walked all the way down this thing in the dog. Huh? I done got sick right in here in Virgo. I done got a divorce right here. I got married and got divorced right here in Libra. See? Now I'm right here having children in Scorpio. Literally, I just had a baby last night. Like literally. And I'm just trying to put y'all on to what I know God showed me to do. You don't need nothing but to know thyself. That's what you need. Not medicine, not meditations, not mediators. You need to know thyself and your human frame and human design and how nature got you going in life. So everybody who get their owner's manual, you got that little circle, you got a red line, you got a blue line and a red line, correct? Ain't that's correct? Everybody who gets that owner's manual got that little circle, and unless you're an old joker, then you need to get your updated version. But if you've been getting it in the last year or so, you got a red line and a blue line. Current location and destination. And this is what you don't know. So you're looking for money, but you're not there yet. Are we there yet? No, you're not. That's not the life lesson. You trying to figure out how you got sick and why you got sick. Because you might just be in Virgo, which concerning your health and fitness. Either you're going to be into health and fitness, or you might have a health condition. Well, why am I going through these relationship issues? Maybe because you're just not there yet. Are we there yet? That's what this owner's man was trying to do for you, man. You see? This ain't got nothing to do with no tropical and sidereal. And man, I don't give a doggone about none of that stuff myself. But this is accurate. There's no one who got this and it wasn't accurate. So you can say sidereal, you can say Vedic, and I ain't even using that. Well, then how am I still accurate? Because I'm not into it that way. Because you get caught up in the jargon. You get caught up in now you're trying to associate and affiliate. No, the only association and affiliation I need is to the humanity. I don't need to join nobody's club. I don't need to join nobody's way of thinking. Because all I'm going to do is regurgitate up some stuff that's been here for thousands of years. The Vedic ain't doing this. Sidereal ain't doing this. You got all these jokers that's doing astrology on here, but they can't help you with your health. All you looking for is love and money. I want to use it for health. And sometimes health, you must understand that health is an umbrella for wealth. It's an umbrella for relationships. All of that is going to make you feel healthy. Well, guess what? When you remove the veil and you start to understand thyself better and how you are, how you're not dominant over nature, but how you are just a part of nature, and you start to fit in and you start to get your little ego settled in, so you'll understand that, you know what? I ain't the most dominant thing out here. Because I could put you in the safari right now and that lion gonna get you. You know what? I'm not the most dominant out here because I can throw you in that ocean. And in about 5 minutes, you'll be pew, pew, bye-bye. The shark, that whale, or the water itself will get you. You know what? I'm not so dominant when you stand beside that mountain. But yeah, you got more money than your cousin, them. You think you're doing something. We got to get you back into perspective. And the only way we can do that is to get you back into nature. Yes, health is the umbrella for wealth. Yes. Carolyn Dixon, you go to the website and type in owner's manual. Go to my website, type in owner's manual, or you can DM me here and I'll lead you the way. Okay. Can you explain gassy or odor? Anytime you're gassy or odor, that means that you have a fluctuation in the stomach acid. Okay. So if you're gassy, you got that stomach acid fluctuation. So that means you're probably going back and forth from fruits and vegetables to protein heavy meals. Okay. If you go back and forth like that, then it can cause you to get some gas or get some now the older part of it is because you probably eat meat. Okay. If you eat meat, obviously the stuff is going to ferment. It's going to rot in the gut, especially if you're not dispelling it fast enough. That's what caused the odor. So not only, I ain't trying to put you out there, Lisa, but Not only does that smell bad down there, but if you probably didn't use perfume, you probably would be smelling bad under him. Okay. And if you didn't brush your teeth, you probably would be smelling bad here. Okay. So we want to make sure that you understand these types of things. But gassy normally means that you're fluctuating that stomach acid like that. Now, you should have very strong acids if you're a meat eater, but it doesn't require that acid to be that strong if you're a vegan or you're just only eating fruits and vegetables. Okay. And if you're bouncing back and forth between the two, can't you see how you're doing that? And so that's going to create a lot of that gas as well. But it also has a lot to do. I mean, fruits and vegetables ferment. Okay. But meats, they petrify, right? They really rot. And so if you're holding on to the meat meals too long, yes, ma'am, that's why the breath smell like that. That's why your underarms gonna smell like that. And unfortunately, that's why your poop is gonna smell like that. Beans cause odor, not necessarily, but they can cause gas, right? Because of, again, the fermentation. You know what they say, beans good for your heart, the more you eat. Y'all finish that for me. I ain't never know about it causing odor, but it can cause a gas, right? Because I just told you, fruits and vegetables are going to ferment. So there's no way around the fermentation and there's no way around the putrefaction. So what you got to do is make sure that you're moving that food through. So we say walk after the meals, right? Move after your meals. Push it through. Okay. Another misnomer that I tell you guys too about this stuff. We have been taught to drink ice water, ice beverages, cold beverages after our meals. So if you're a meat eater and you're eating cold beverages after your meal, no matter what the cold beverage is, if it's cold water, cold milk, cold wine, cold iced tea, cold Kool-Aid, it don't matter what it is, okay? If you drink cold beverages after your meal, especially if you're a meat eater, the oils are going to do what? Harden, and that's what's really causing the coagulations. That's what's causing the obstructions and stuff like that. Just like if you set oil out on your stove after you cook them French fries, it's going to do what? Harden up. A prime example would be coconut oil. Okay. So coconut oil is going to harden up, but all you need to do is put a little heat on it and it'll melt. So a lot of you guys are not drinking hot tea, but some countries already know this secret, but we don't. So they advertising to you Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola don't mean nothing but a cold beverage. Coca-Cola don't mean nothing but a cold beverage, okay? You have pepsic acid in you. Pepsi comes from pepsic acid. You see how they're doing it? So you're drinking cold beverages, no matter what it is, behind meat meals or heavily oil meals, heavily fat meals, you're going to cause coagulation. But if you ate some peppers, okay, if you drank some hot tea, 30 minutes to an hour behind after the meal or 30 minutes to an hour before your meals, now you can start to move that thing. And when you start to move that thing, now it gets in and it gets out very, very quickly. Okay. So watch the cold drinks behind these meals. Anybody else before we get up out of here? You guys, I appreciate you. We're almost there. We're at 80K. I was trying to get 100,000, but I see I got your undivided attention today. So I do appreciate that. If you guys got questions about an owner's manual, go to the website, type in owner's manual, get yours today. If you want to join the HerbMan School so that you can teach this, okay, go ahead and get that early bird special. It's on the website. Type in school. Let's get you enrolled, okay? Classes will start April the 4th, okay? Classes will start April the 4th, but the early bird special will end the end of March, okay? The end of March. Class is going to start. When classes start, the school is going to be okay. That's when classes start. The early bird special right now is 1K. And this is for a whole year of school, okay? A whole year of school. So I'm going to be with you for a whole year. So this ain't nothing when you're talking about a year. And you talking about a couple of weeks, I wouldn't pay this myself. But if you're going to teach me and slow roll me through this thing for a whole year, that's worth that. Really, that's cheap, okay? But at the end of the day, we got to make this accessible for everybody, okay? And some of you guys have been with me, so if you jumped into the school, you'll probably really, really get it, because then I'm gonna be able to tell you everything that I can say that I can't say here. User 1807 said, I joined the school. Okay. Do you have a discount for 3 or more kids? No, we don't have a family discount, Sunshine. I don't have a family discount, unfortunately. $50 is the discount. You know what I'm saying? You get any cheaper than that, then, you know what I mean? I'm just, this stuff, it takes a lot of time. What you get when you guys get your owner's manual, that takes a lot of time. Okay. Manny, yes, Manny joined already. Yes, Manny is in the school. Yes. Who else? Thank you, Lep. I know you guys are congratulating me on the baby girl. We appreciate that she's the first girl of the family. So she's the queen already. You know what I mean? Already running stuff. So yeah, man, we appreciate the queen, man. We definitely appreciate the queen. Hopefully one of them jokers will take after me, man. But I don't try to pressure my children. I am that I am. So congratulations. Yes, thank you, Sharonda. Thank you. Any questions about what you heard today? Or do y'all got it? Because if y'all got it, y'all get it, then y'all good. And I'm finna get up out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay? I love you guys, man. And it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time. Love HerbMan. Peace, man. We appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the love. Peace. Remember this. I want to say this, though. Remember, start doing this stuff with your ears closed, okay? I did want to say that before I leave. Start doing this stuff with your ears closed. Close your eyes. Put something in your ears. You can go get you some little earmuffs or something. And you do that, man. You sit on your bed and you just lower your shoulders. Drop your jaws. Lower your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Breathe in the nose and hum it out. And just listen to your song. And I promise you guys that if you guys can do that, I just save 90% of what you're going through. Okay? Peace.